Hello, and welcome to another episode by Tiny Mushroom. We're talking about video games this week. Still hot off the press is the Paris Games Week, and we're going to be talking about that PlayStation conference.
Ooh boy, I've got some mixed feelings on this conference.
Yeah, not a lot of gameplay, to be fair.
Not a lot of the games, not a lot of the trailers that we really want to see.
I disagree on that, but we'll get to that.
I think we're a bit in the age now where we should have trailers which show like substantial amounts of gameplay, but I think with just like the amount of games they wanted to put in, they did have to sort of fall back on the cutscene. You know, sort of
it was very much let's get 10 minutes of hype.
Yeah.
After the show, and then everybody realises, well, I didn't actually see anything.
Exactly, like this game's due out soon. I still haven't seen anything of it. But sometimes it's all that's needed, really.
It reminded me a lot of the Metroid Prime 4 trailer. Just that. I mean, that's pretty much what they did with every single game, just with a little cutscene from the game.
Just a JPEG Last of Us 2. They didn't have to go through that effort to make that trailer as good as it was.
Naughty Dog, what are you doing? It's so much effort.
It's not gone to waste though. It was a good trailer. But anyway, let's get started.
Yeah, so we're starting off with the AAAs from the main show. Well, mostly AAAs. Let's start off with Shadow of the Colossus.
I really don't care.
What? Take that back.
Okay, now look, right.
Have you played Journey?
Yeah.
And you're not getting vibes from that?
Well, okay, Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. Right? I played on PS2.
You played it? Okay.
Yeah, I played it already, so liked it. Then they made the remasters on the PS3, which I got.
And you played it again?
Yeah, because I got it on the ICO Shadow of the Colossus collection. Liked it again, even though it was just.
You're gonna like it this time?
Well,
I go one more go. Round 3.
What's the point? Because you don't play a game like that for its graphics. You play for the giant monsters, and they still look impressive, like even on the PS2 version.
But your expectation has gone up anyway with the console generation, so they just look good to you, I guess. It's like the same as you seeing it on PS2 when PS2 looked good. It's the same reaction.
Like you mean like the Wind Waker HD effect?
Yeah.
It's like this is what the game looked like when I first played it. Not really bothered, to be honest. It's one of those games where I go back and I just like blast through it. I'll go back and I'll play it like in 1 or 2 evenings.
So that's interesting because I'm completely opposite of this. I've never played this game. I've seen a lot of it. I've seen a lot of PlayStation 2 coverage, and it looks immense to me. I love Journey. I love that really simplistic background style. So all you have that you need to focus on is the character, the giant monsters, and sometimes there might be some buildings now and then that you can interact with. But the main point of focus is exactly what the game is, those Colossus monsters. And I think that art style it uses the team really effectively to get as much as they can out of those monsters. And it looked fantastic, that dragon.
It does, but this isn't the kind of model I want to support because this is the second remaster of a game we've had. I'd rather have another game from Team Ico.
Yeah, we moan a lot about people putting season passes on stuff and other microtransactions and such, and this I'm guessing to you this is similar to that.
Hey, this one might have loot boxes in it though.
Oh. Can you imagine?
Loot boxes for a purely single player game.
Oh my god, this is the death of video games. You heard it here first.
Gaming culture is dying. Release by release. Anyway, can't say I'm excited for it, but as someone who's played the original and the first remaster, but yeah, by all means, go for the remaster because
if you've never played it, it's for people who never played it before, I think, or people who have played the PS2 have waited that long for this one. And the price point's not too bad; it's much less than a retail game, so you pick it up cheap, I suppose.
Yeah, it was alright. That's all I got.
Next, Spider-Man. Come on, this is our channel. This is us.
Yeah, well, yeah, but what of the game have we seen? I mean, so what we said earlier.
We saw some swinging that wasn't gameplay. Yeah. We saw some talking that was from a cutscene, and a little bit of Miles Morales business going on, which I'm quite excited about.
I don't know. That could just be a cutscene, though.
Yeah.
It could be as limited as Donald Glover saying, "Oh, I have a nephew in Homecoming," and that's it. Like, it could just be Miles just walking out of school and being like, "Oh, wow, that guy's a Spider-Man."
Yeah.
That's it.
The thing that I go back to is the one on PlayStation 2. The mechanics on that were legit, just crazy good.
Yeah.
And so all for me they have to do is replicate that, obviously with the crazy amount of new textures that they're going to have to put in the game and the enhanced graphics. Just have that control system and the combat system akin to sort of the Batman games. I think that's kind of what they need to go for now in hand-to-hand combat. And a story from the comic books because when these video game developers
Oh,
go off
God.
on their own tangent on these comic book games, it doesn't tend to go so well.
My favourite thing when it comes to... I've played a few of the Spider-Man games. I played Spider-Man 3, which I still think was pretty good. It didn't quite get the web slinging mechanics right, but whatever. Whenever a video game makes whenever a video game publisher tries to make a story involving superhero characters, they just sort of throw in all the characters and just be like...
You do get that every hour there's a new villain and you're is this going to end soon?
I remember one being like, oh, look, it's Mysterio, and he's limited to one mission in a museum, and that's it. It's like, you could have...
That was incidentally the mission I got stuck on and hadn't played it since.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I'm a bit skeptical because, I mean, I know it's Insomniac who developing
You just can't say anything about it. Like, this is going to be really repetitive for what we get for everything. The trailer looked good.
I feel confident that Insomniac are going to deliver because all of their games are mechanically satisfying and they feel good and fun to play. Just, would have liked to have seen more. Do we even have a release date for it yet?
I think it was either early 2018 or 2018. I'm not sure if they were too specific.
I'm relatively excited for it.
But I was looking back at Insomniac's history, and this gave me so much confidence. Ratchet & Clank, Resistance, Spyro. What can go wrong?
I know. Yeah, they've got a good history behind them. So, of all the people that hand over the series to, I'm quite happy it was them.
Yeah, let's wait to the next conference, get some gameplay. I think we'll be okay. Yeah.
This time.
All of these games at the next conference, people are just going to go, please not another cutscene, please not another cutscene.
What's up next?
Shall we go for Last of Us Part 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a brutal trailer.
If you're going to do a trailer for a game...
Yeah. We ranted about there's no gameplay. But you know what? Seeing as Last of Us is so story-driven and it's so atmosphere, it's held together by that sort of story, that narrative, I'm okay with just a cutscene. We don't know if it's a real cutscene yet or whether it's just a trailer.
We don't even know the characters. What really encouraged me was that they were all new characters as far as we could tell. And for them not to focus on Joel and Ellie was such a good idea for me because people just have this expectation as soon as they do. They want a very similar sort of relationship, a very similar storyline.
Yeah. And
that creates an expectation that's up here. Whereas if you introduce new characters, and I think that just goes down a level, which is only good for the game because the amount of plaudits the first one got, it's going to be so tough for them to replicate that.
I found the game just a tiny bit overrated only because it was getting 10 out of 10s everywhere. And
your expectation was too high.
It was also coming towards that sort of end of gaming when it was zombies and we started to get the crafting system. I was like, if this is the peak of the genre, that's fine, but that's not a genre I'm more or less into.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty big fan of Uncharted, but Last of Us didn't quite grab me. I know, maybe I need to do another full playthrough of it to see if
it might be one that grows on you. What I liked about this trailer was that it very much captured the tone of the last third of the first game. Very dark.
Yeah. And
I specifically remember in the last third playing as Ellie, and people were not scared of trying to kill you.
Yeah.
It just that atmosphere of the world it was dark to begin with, but then it just went down to a new level, almost like what we're into the Walking Dead TV series right now. And I think that progression of the world, not only the characters, is a really good step for them. So I'm really excited for this. I'm
happy that they put together something that required a lot of effort that didn't necessarily need to be. Like I said, they could have got away with just the JPEG of Last of Us 2 date. That's it.
Yeah, we moaned at that, but we're glad we saw the trailer.
Oh yeah, it was a great trailer. I actually heard about that trailer from a news article on The Guardian or something, and they were like, oh, look at this violent video game trailer. Oh, look at this person cutting it. It's
talking about that. What about that Detroit gameplay?
That
was brutal.
I'm interested in that. Not many of the games which I didn't know about didn't grab me, but I'm interested in Detroit. That genuinely stuck out for me. It was very
brave of them to go with that scene, but I'm really glad they did because video games is an art style like music and films which can accommodate all these different types of audiences and all these different types of scenarios, and I'm really glad they didn't shy away from that because it did it in such a clever way, especially at the end where you could see the decisions that you make have such a profound impact on what solution was to come about at the end.
Let's just hope this isn't the Dead Island syndrome, if you know what I mean.
Go on.
Dead Island had an amazing trailer where it was a girl who'd been bit by a zombie and she's lying there on the grass and the entire trailer then reverses in slow motion, where you see her rise up out of a window, the glass fixes itself, and you see her parents, for their fighting zombies, and it was this really great trailer that set up this game for a lot of hype. I'd even say it's one of the more memorable trailers of that year. And the game came out and it was just, here's some zombies.
They did too good of a trailer.
The trailer was too good.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, because for them to put all those boxes at the end saying this is what could happen in all these different scenarios, just think how long that would take for every branch of this story to have all these different things going on, and for that much effort to be put in. I know it's going to be a AAA, I know it's made by a big studio, but it's hard for me to see just how they could replicate what we saw then in the trailer in the whole game.
I'm a bit skeptical towards sort of choose your own adventure games. Like, I loved The Walking Dead, I loved Heavy Rain, I really loved Until Dawn. I'm just concerned though that there's going to be the Fallout 4 syndrome of here's your options, they both lead to the same thing with a bit of dialogue change.
Well, I mean, they've got a good track record with Heavy Rain, as you said, and Beyond Two Souls, so I'm feeling like this is a good evolution of those games that studio's making. So, again, fingers crossed. We didn't see a lot, but we did see gameplay.
We did see a lot of spoilers, though, potentially.
Yeah.
Just right up there, like Kill Todd. Just
banged, yeah.
Yeah, guess we'll have to look forward to that choice when the game comes out.
So, on a much lighter tone, what about Concrete Genie?
I was surprised they left that so late to the conference, to be fair.
I thought that would be in the pre-show by what it looked like.
Yeah. But I really liked it. I really liked the sort of style they're going for, actually.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was a really nice change of tone, because a lot of people have said that this conference was just like violent as hell.
Yeah.
But it was nice to have, I mean, there was still a bullying aspect to the story of that, which was, it'd be really nice to really stick it to those bullies in that game by having those creatures help you out. And I thought it was a really nice thing of the developers on the after show, where they said it makes people who can't draw feel like they've got this power of drawing in the game.
Yeah.
And it's really nice that not only can you do that, but they come to life and they help you. And it's difficult to gauge what sort of game it's going to be, but it feels very relaxed.
It feels more like the sort of slow kick back and just play it for a couple of hours game, rather than just being fully involved. I suppose the controller scheme helps with that as well.
The last game that we're going to talk about, but the first that happened on the main show, was the Ghost of Tsushima. This sort of samurai, really mysterious game. We didn't see a lot of it. Again, it was a trailer.
Again.
Yeah. But what did you think of it? Are you into those sort of games?
Well, if I knew what kind of game it was, then I might be.
At the end of the conference, there was a little bit of an interview, and the game is set in the Mongol invasion of Japan, I think it is. And so you can get the sense of sort of barbarian versus samurai, that sort of conflict.
I'd be interested in that, because it's very rare that we get the games of that ilk which aren't like just, say, completely over the top, like Ninja Gaiden levels of ridiculousness. So maybe something that's more like a conquest style kind of game.
I think this game's going to benefit a lot from For Honor and the combat system in there, because I think this is just going to be exactly that sort of hand-to-hand samurai versus barbarian thing. So it depends a lot on the story with this sort of game. We don't know a lot about it so far, but we know that Sucker Punch I think they did a great job with the first Infamous story and the second one. So I'm quietly confident, although it is a bit of a step in a really left field direction for them.
I'll wait until I find out more about it.
Again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now we're going to move on to
some more games that didn't have trailers.
Yeah, but I honestly think these games did more for me than most of the other big AAAs did. So let's talk about some of the indies.
Okay.
Right, but right from the get-go, we got Guacamelee 2, which just hilarious trailer.
My body is ready.
I know.
That chicken stuff, man.
I just couldn't.
I could do the whole game as a chicken.
I just love that. I mean, I really enjoyed the first Guacamelee.
Combat is just legit in that game.
Very satisfying as well, and not to mention the ass load of memes that are in that.
Oh yeah.
Like when you go into the town and you see like a grumpy cat and like the spy with all the churros in his mouth. And
I know, indie devs get away with that, man. They're just so cool.
Yeah. I mean, like the chicken suit was like one power up. I think it was when some point in the game you got depowered and you had to turn into a chicken. Then it became like a way to get through.
But he's looking better than the main character.
I know. Like, I mean, it was probably one of my favourite Metroidvanias of recent memory. So I'm looking forward to seeing, like, even if it's just more of the same.
Yeah. I really like the look of this dimension sort of twisting bit, way sort of puzzle solving, but in a much different way.
There was elements of that,
I think it's called dimensional waves or something, where you have to you're in a specific part of the wave, that you can navigate one part of the level, whereas if you're on another part of the wave, there's a blockade or something, or a bridge, isn't there?
Because they showed a bit of the they showed like an arena where the enemies can't be hit when a wave is over them.
Yeah.
So it's about, and they have a series of platforms, so it's about managing when you can hit one and then knock him up so that by the time the wave comes up, you can still hit him and have that bit of time. Even if it's just more of the same sort of gameplay, still what I want. It was really satisfying when it came out.
Relatively short as well, so people will be sort of hammering for more and have been. As we know.
They also have a good sense of humour, because when they re-released Guacamelee, I think for the PS4, they named the re-release Guacamelee Gold Hyper Turbo X Arcade Edition and Knuckles or whatever. It is a huge long title.
I'm going to look that up there. That's cool.
Guacamelee HD Turbo Championship
Supercharged
Arcade Remix and Knuckles Edition.
It's definitely not Knuckles. It's definitely you're just making this up. Internet, tell us if this exists.
It's something like that.
I liked as well 4-player co-op. That's going to be super cool in that game.
I never really bothered with the 2-player one of it, but
just seeing it, like all the vibrancy of the different suits and the different like luchadors, that was cool. Moving on to another lovely platformer that we enjoy, Spelunky 2.
I mean, once again, I don't think that you need a gameplay thing.
This one was legit JPEG. It was a little bit of passing the baton onto his son, but that was all that was these Polaroids. So they just used pictures for the whole trailer.
I'm so happy that they got the dog as their pet. That I love that. You don't, because obviously people have put like thousands and thousands of hours into this game. It's like if they were to make a sequel to Binding of Isaac, like a true sequel, not just a remaster, you wouldn't really need to show much of the gameplay, because
people know.
Yeah, that's what people want. People just want the new character. They're probably going to be like, oh, what's he going to be doing this time?
They can't release Spelunky 2 as basically a rehash of Spelunky 1.
Yeah.
So I'm really struggling as to what they're going to come up with, and that's really exciting for me because I trust these guys so much.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
I just think it's going to be a case of here's more, because we still sort of forget that as detailed and as in-depth as Spelunky 1 was, it's still quite a small, compact game now that it's a whole team of people making it.
Well, months into Spelunky 1, people were still discovering item interactions like the eggplant ending and stuff like that. So
that took a long while for people to find out.
So there's going to be more of that, I'm expecting. There's going to be maybe different controls. I'm sort of expecting roughly the same sort of going down the levels, but I think they're going to be much more complicated. Yeah,
you might even find yourself going, like, let's just say sideways into another one, and having rather than starting off in
VR.
This one. Oh God, no! Can you imagine seeing the ghost?
Oh no, that'd be so scary. Are we running around the house?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the first look we do on Spelunky 2 whenever it comes out.
We have to complete the first one. It's so hard.
This was going to be brutal. Honest to God, those two games got me more excited than anything else in this conference.
One game that got me equally as excited, which I know wasn't, I think it might have gone over your head a little bit, was Hong Kong Massacre. This reminded me so much of a game I played on PlayStation 1 called Loaded, which no one will remember. If you do, welcome to the club. Basically, it was that top-down shooter within, like, moving from room to room, but it was so bloody. It was like an 18 for that sort of game.
Like a Hotline Miami sort of top. I call them top-down fuck-em-ups.
Yeah, exactly. It was that sort of thing, and it used this like Doom keycard mechanic. So a super simple game, but a lot of fun. And this reminded me of that mechanic-wise, but with a really cool Japanese gangster sort of effect, which I'm so down for that sort of story. I don't think they need to go too far into the story with that sort of game, because with that art style, you don't really care about the characters, because you literally don't have the detail to see them.
You can't connect with someone who's like a small sprite, essentially.
So I'm more than happy to have something happens to your family, work your way up the mafia, kill the head. That's the game. A lot of fun. Just like you say, fuck them up.
Yeah. I don't think that they'll quite top the just sheer beauty that is Hotline Miami in terms of like that satisfying gameplay. But I might give it a shot, because I didn't realise I liked that kind of game until that came out.
For them to get onto this conference, though, I think that says quite a lot.
I think, even though we've sort of criticised a few of these companies where it's been like, all it is, this, for them to get a good slot on this platform, they're doing something right, at least.
Onto the main part of the conference. Ready? Here is VR, Jack. Take the VR. Take the VR.
I don't want it.
Put your headset on now. Buy a headset.
Oh God, I'm not going to criticise the presenters of this too much, but
VR,
when they were just talking about it, they said,
VR.
yeah, the thing is with PlayStation VR is that you just get these unique gameplay experiences that you can't get anywhere else. I was like,
Yeah, Oculus, HTC. Come on.
just shut up. I mean, I was really not expecting. When you told me that you wanted to do an episode on PlayStation Paris, I thought, like, okay, maybe there's going to be like quite a few games on which I'll look forward to picking up.
No, it's all VR, VR, VR.
Out of the 2 hours that I watched of this conference, would you be fair to say half of it was VR?
It felt like it. It obviously wasn't, but it felt like it.
My God, I mean, okay, I've got quite a few criticisms of this as well. Like, we had so many games that looked similar. Like we're going to have this game that plays a lot like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, where you go along a linear pathway and it's got quite a youthful, very flat textured art style, and you control the environment. I was like, I've played this before. Like, I don't care whether I'm controlling two people and they have a friendship and you can rewind time.
Friendship.
I don't care whether you play a dragon and you have to go through it. I don't care if you have to play with a fucking bunny and you control the environment. They all look the same. They all look and they play almost identical to each other, and I'm just sick. I'm not going to pay for I'm not going to pay 450 quid for these shitty little indie titles that all have the same gameplay style. No.
Calm down. Calm down.
What did you think about them?
Okay. I thought shooters looked crap.
Yeah.
Like, the enemies move so slowly and did so little damage. Resi 7 was not scary. I can see it being a little bit scary, being in the sort of house at the beginning and having those dark spaces going into them and that sort of thing. But in that tunnel environment with those aliens, well, they look like aliens, they're obviously zombies.
Yeah.
And you shooting them, that just didn't do it for me. Doom, it basically wasn't a Doom game.
Yeah.
Because Doom is run and gun. You can't run.
Unless you're on, like, have you seen on those weird treadmills, you like omnidirectional treadmills, like, could you imagine that if you got, like, with the headset on and you're, mind you, one of the fun things of Doom is you can just jump all around the place.
Well, exactly, yeah.
So,
but what kind of annoyed me about that is it doesn't look like they're going to put in the option to move normally, so with a controller, because some people get motion sickness from that, and that's fine to have the other teleportation option, but just to have teleportation, it won't do it for a lot of people, I don't think, especially as a Doom game.
I think that's one of the problems with VR in general, is that it's sort of it's just one of the things you have to accept when you're going into it. You're never going to quite please everyone. It's like when you have PC settings and you have to change FOV sliders. Some people just aren't going to be happy with it.
I'm going to uplift you now from your slump of desperation of VR. The zombie game, Dead Hungry, how cool was that?
Okay, that was alright. Yeah.
That looks fun. I'm not spending 300 quid on that, but if I already have and it's fairly cheap, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's just the main problem I have. Like, I don't know whether they're trying to subsidise the cost of a £300 headset by releasing really rubbish £15 indie games, where it's just like, ooh, look, your face is right next to the screen.
Yeah, it's gimmicky, but it looks fun. I think it would work well just as like a tenner on the actual console, to be honest. Yeah,
it's like when the presenters were saying, oh, I really enjoyed playing Starship Bridge Crew, I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people say okay, this gets me with these presenters. Now, we sometimes get a bit like this, like all happy, like, yeah, that was great. But everything, even the craft ones, they were like, oh, freaking love that, it's my favourite game of the conference. Like, oh, shut up.
To be fair, when that one guy was talking about Super Hot, like, I thought, okay, this guy sort of knows what he's doing. Like, that's a game that I think would benefit from VR. And
then the guy was like, oh, I'm so excited for that tennis game. I'm like, no, you're not. Anyway, another cool game was that RTS League of War, which was basically the evolution of mobile RTS on VR, where you could literally place the units, which was looked gimmicky again.
You could see that little like currency thing in the top right corner of all like mobile RTS games. Oh no, he's been captured. Then you can like
spend 20 quid.
You could like have the microtransactions in VR. No. That's
next year of the microtransactions.
These videos have made me so cynical towards every game that comes out, because we just need to slap a microtransaction or a loot box.
Just play on your Switch with Odyssey and you'll be fine.
Good. I'm really happy with that game, but we're not talking about it.
I know. Sad. Anyway, Final Fantasy Fishing.
Okay,
sad
now.
Times.
Okay, like so. You told me to just watch this, and I only watched it a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I started watching it, I keep on hearing them mention, "Oh, we've got a big Final Fantasy update coming." Like, I was like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
I thought, is it going to be Final Fantasy 15? Because that's a great
Well,
game.
they did have a really cool update for 15.
They did, yeah.
In the pre-show, which I think was in the pre-show, which looked legit.
Yeah,
Really
I
cool.
sort of like 15. I think it plays really well. I was thinking, oh wait, they're going to...
Like a VR
Yeah.
update. Yeah.
I thought they're going to release some information on Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Hmm.
Because that was just...
Yeah, that's been ages.
Yeah, that's been ages. I thought, oh my god, we're going to get something like that.
No.
No.
No. Literally Final Fantasy fishing.
Sometimes I hate Square. They're one of my... They are like...
What is the point? Like, I'm glad I didn't mention this earlier because your rant would have been twice as long.
Like... They're like... If they were a person, I'd love to shake their hand and punch them in the face at the same time.
Yeah.
Just...
Yeah.
It's like one step forward, two steps back with them. But mind you, like I said, it's a VR game. They can sort of do whatever they want with it because they know it's not like mega popular at the moment.
Again, it's so tricky with VR. It costs so much to invest in,
And
and yet you're getting these little, basically mini games on it.
I loved it.
Conundrum.
I loved it when that woman was talking about the hair customization. I was like,
Oh.
wow, you're really going into depth about this one.
Yeah, she's trying to sell it that much.
I know it's like you
Yeah.
can just mod Skyrim to get ridiculous hair, but
Never mind. That's the way the world's going. VR eventually will be good. Maybe 10 years after release. From the conference, really good list of games, but really crap content for them. So I'm really looking forward to the next conference where we see actual gameplay.
when we know what half of these
release
games are.
dates. Yeah, basically. So that's about it from us. VR all the way.
Yeah. Woo. We hope you like VR. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to check out our Let's Talk Video Games, Let's Talk Comics, and First Look playlists. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.